Where are you from?
Me.
Yeah,
New York.
New York. Hey, where are you from?
I'm from Connecticut.
Connecticut? I'm sorry, I thought you were gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know you, but I want to.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I'm here to get your number.
My number's crazy.
I know, and wedding next. It's all happening so fast.
Oh my god. Number is crazy.
IG.
I could do IG.
My loving mother always used to tell me that I should definitely follow my biggest dreams.
I can't right now.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Like your necklace, though.
Thank you.
For sure. What do you study?
Business.
Business? All right, nice.
You know, you have bad Wi-Fi right now.
All right, how about this? You text me it.
I am not going to give my number to anyone.
Why? I'm not a crazy man, I promise.
That's so federal. I'm not going to lie.
Federal? I will have your whole name and government on Instagram.
That's fine.
More federal.
But number is too much.
All right, I'll screenshot it. I love you.
Have you ever wondered why some women just lose interest in a man, even when he seems confident, charming, or successful? Today, we're diving into a topic that might make some of you uncomfortable, but it's something every man who wants to understand attraction needs to hear. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore relationships honestly and from real-life experience, without sugarcoating what actually works and what doesn't. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 biggest turnoffs for women, behaviors, attitudes, and patterns that quietly push her away, even if she doesn't say it outright. As a therapist, I've worked with countless men and women, and I've seen the same mistakes show up again and again. These aren't just random dating tips. These are patterns that come from real relationships, real heartbreak, and real confusion. I've sat across from women who felt unseen, frustrated, or even irritated by men they otherwise liked. And I've also worked with men who were genuinely trying to connect, but unknowingly were doing things that destroyed attraction. The good news is, once you understand these turnoffs, you can stop sabotaging your relationships and start building deeper, more genuine connections. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about blaming anyone or saying men are bad for making mistakes. It's about awareness. Attraction is delicate, and small habits can make a huge difference in how a woman feels around you. And believe me, some of these turnoffs are so subtle, most men don't even realize they're doing them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what behaviors to avoid, why they matter, and how to create a presence that naturally draws her in, instead of pushing her away. So stay with me, because if you've ever wondered why some women seem to pull away without reason, understanding these 7 turnoffs might just change everything. 1. Constant negativity.
1. Have your opinions. You don't always have to agree with her. First of all, it's boring if you agree all the time. When you disagree respectfully, that can start a really long conversation. 2. Posture is everything, so make sure your shoulders are back, your head is held high, and please do not take out your phone unless you are trying to show her something, otherwise you just look bored. And 3. Smile and make eye contact. If you break the eye contact, find her eyes all over again.
One of the first things women notice, sometimes almost immediately, is how a man handles his mindset. Constant negativity, complaining about work, about life, about people around him, can be a subtle but powerful attraction killer. I've had clients tell me they felt drawn to a man initially, only to slowly distance themselves because every conversation felt heavy, like carrying a weight they didn't sign up for. As a therapist, I've seen it over and over. Women are not looking for someone to vent to constantly. They want someone who can navigate life with a perspective that feels energizing, not draining. Negativity doesn't always look dramatic. It might start with small comments, the ones that slip into daily conversation. Nothing ever goes right for me, or people are always selfish. Over time, these words build a pattern, and she begins to associate your presence with stress rather than comfort or excitement. She doesn't want a cheerleader, but she does want someone who can manage his mindset, someone whose outlook on life creates space for connection, not tension. I remember a client who came to me frustrated. He was a good man, responsible and caring, but he had developed a habit of constantly focusing on what was wrong around him. At first, it seemed harmless, even relatable, but his partner began to pull away. She felt exhausted after every interaction, and eventually, she stopped initiating contact. It wasn't that he was a bad person, it was that his constant negative lens made the relationship feel heavy. When I worked with him, We focused on awareness first, recognizing when his thoughts or comments were negative and how that impacted the energy in his relationships. Then we worked on strategies for expressing frustrations in a controlled, constructive way instead of letting negativity dominate his interactions. Here's the critical point. Women notice energy before they notice specifics. If your presence consistently brings tension, complaints, or criticism, even subtle ones, it chips away at attraction. It doesn't matter how charming, intelligent, or successful you are. Negativity will overshadow those traits. Developing self-awareness, choosing words carefully, and shifting the focus toward solutions, gratitude, or even lightheartedness can transform the way she experiences you. Negativity is one of the most overlooked turnoffs because it's so easy to justify it as honesty, realism, or sharing your true self. But attraction isn't built on constant complaints. It's built on energy that inspires her, makes her feel safe, and makes her want to be around you. Learning to manage negativity is not about pretending to be happy all the time. It's about choosing when, how, and what you share, so your presence uplifts rather than pushes away. 2. Lack of ambition or drive. Ambition isn't about money, fancy cars, or climbing the corporate ladder. It's about direction, purpose, and the energy you bring to your life. Women notice it almost instinctively. When a man seems stagnant, unmotivated, or indifferent about his own goals, it creates a subtle sense of unease. I've seen many men come to me frustrated because they genuinely care about a woman, yet she loses interest without an obvious reason. Often, the missing piece is drive. As a therapist, I've worked with women who openly share that they feel attracted to men who show initiative. Initiative doesn't mean controlling her life or always making decisions for her. It means being someone with a life that matters, someone who moves toward goals with consistency. A man who drifts from day to day, waiting for life to happen, can unintentionally send the signal that he won't be a partner who contributes equally to a shared future. I recall one client, a woman in her late 20s, describing her frustration with a man she dated. He was kind, funny, and attentive, but he spent most of his time playing video games, avoiding responsibilities, and never speaking about his goals. She admitted that his lack of ambition made her feel anxious about what a future with him would look like. It wasn't that she wanted perfection. She wanted engagement, energy, and a sense that he was actively building his life, not just coasting through it. Men often underestimate how much women pick up on subtle signs of drive. It could be the way you talk about your day, your hobbies, or your future. Do you challenge yourself to improve? Do you take small but consistent steps toward what matters to you? Women respond to men who are architects of their own life, even in small ways. On the other hand, if your life lacks direction, she may unconsciously start losing interest because she senses instability or a lack of compatibility in long-term vision. This isn't about being obsessed with success or perfection. It's about showing life energy. Women feel a natural pull toward men who have momentum. It could be a fitness goal, a creative project, a career path, or even learning new skills. The exact area doesn't matter. What matters is that she sees you actively shaping your own life. Drive signals self-respect, responsibility, and the ability to contribute meaningfully to a relationship. The takeaway here is simple. Ambition is attractive. A lack of ambition quietly undermines connection because it communicates passivity and complacency. Take time to clarify what you want, set goals, and take visible steps toward them. When women see that energy, it's magnetic. Drive doesn't just improve your life, it enhances every interaction and makes her want to be part of your journey. 3. Over-attaching too soon. One of the most common mistakes I see men make in relationships, and it happens more often than you think, is over-attaching too early. It's subtle, sometimes innocent, but it can quietly push a woman away. From my years as a therapist, I've seen countless cases where a man is genuinely interested in a woman, and his intentions are good, yet the way he approaches the relationship makes her feel suffocated instead of connected. Over-attaching often looks like excessive texting, needing constant reassurance, or trying to move the relationship forward too quickly. A man might think that showing eagerness proves interest or loyalty, but in reality, it can trigger the opposite effect. Women are wired to notice boundaries and emotional balance. When someone becomes overly available or dependent emotionally too soon, it can unintentionally signal insecurity or neediness, qualities that reduce attraction rather than build it. I remember one client, a woman in her early 30s, who told me about a man she liked. At first, she was excited by his attention and warmth, but within weeks, he was messaging her multiple times a day, asking where she was, what she was doing, and constantly seeking validation. She started feeling anxious and even guilty for not matching that level of intensity. Eventually, she pulled back, not because she wasn't interested, but because the relationship felt emotionally heavy before it had space to breathe. Men often confuse consistency with clinginess. Being present, reliable, and caring is attractive, but there's a line. Attachment without patience can smother natural attraction. Women appreciate space to feel curiosity, desire, and independence. When a man overattaches, he unknowingly removes the natural tension and excitement that builds connection. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding timing and pacing in emotional engagement. So how can you avoid this turnoff? Focus on building a balanced connection. Maintain your own life, interests, and social circles. Show interest, but allow her space to respond and initiate. Listen more than you speak about yourself, and avoid projecting expectations onto the early stages of the relationship. Emotional maturity means managing your desire for closeness without overwhelming the other person. Here's the key lesson. Attachment is attractive, but timing matters. When a woman feels that she's allowed to discover you gradually, she can develop genuine curiosity, respect, and emotional investment. Over-attaching too soon can destroy that curiosity before it even begins. Attraction thrives in a space where both people feel secure, but not suffocated, interested, but still intrigued. Mastering this balance is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen early connections, and it's a skill that separates men who struggle from men who build lasting attraction. 4. Ignoring her emotional needs. One of the biggest turnoffs I see in relationships isn't something dramatic. It's simple, yet profound. Many men unintentionally ignore the emotional needs of their partner, and it quietly erodes attraction over time. Women notice not just words but energy, attention, and how you respond to their feelings. I've seen it countless times in my practice, and it often comes down to small patterns that men don't even realize are happening. Take the example of a client. Let's call him Michael. He was in a 2-year relationship with a woman he cared deeply about. On the surface, everything seemed fine. He was thoughtful, funny, and supportive in practical ways. But when she tried to share her worries or frustrations, he would often brush them off, offer quick solutions, or worse, get frustrated. Michael didn't mean to hurt her. He thought he was being helpful. What he didn't realize was that women value feeling heard and understood more than immediate solutions. Over time, she began to feel emotionally unseen, and despite his good intentions, her attraction and trust slowly diminished. Ignoring emotional needs isn't about neglecting grand gestures. It's about the small, consistent ways you respond to her feelings. Listening is more powerful than advising. Being present is more important than fixing. For example, when she comes home stressed from work, a quick, "Don't worry about it," may seem supportive, but it can make her feel dismissed. Instead, acknowledging her feelings with curiosity and empathy. "I hear that this day was really tough. Do you want to talk about it?" creates connection. Emotional presence signals safety, and safety builds intimacy. I've shared similar insights with countless men who struggle to maintain closeness in their relationships. They often think that emotional support is optional or secondary to being fun or successful. But what women consistently tell me is that emotional awareness and responsiveness are non-negotiable. When a man neglects this, she feels a gap in the relationship that no amount of charm or material success can fill. The takeaway here is that attraction is deeply linked to emotional intelligence. It's not about solving every problem or saying the right words. It's about noticing her emotional state, responding with understanding, and making her feel seen. Men who consistently meet this need, even in small ways, create a magnetic presence that draws women closer. Michael, after recognizing his pattern, began actively practicing listening and validating her feelings instead of trying to fix everything. Within months, their connection strengthened, and she expressed that she felt more valued and understood than ever before. Ignoring emotional needs may seem harmless at first, but it slowly erodes trust, intimacy, and attraction. Paying attention, being present, and responding with empathy is not just caring. It's essential for keeping her emotionally invested. When you meet this need, attraction isn't forced. It grows naturally, and the relationship becomes a space where both partners feel deeply connected. 5. Poor communication skills. Communication is the lifeline of any relationship, yet it's one of the most overlooked turnoffs. I've worked with men who are genuinely kind and caring, but their inability to express themselves or listen effectively creates distance without them even realizing it. Women notice these gaps immediately, and over time, it can quietly kill attraction. I recall a man in therapy who had been in a relationship for over a year. He cared deeply for his partner, but whenever disagreements arose, he either shut down or tried to fix everything with quick solutions instead of talking through feelings. His partner started to feel unheard and frustrated. She wasn't looking for perfect answers. She wanted to feel understood and valued. Every missed opportunity to communicate created emotional distance, even though his intentions were good. Communication isn't just about talking. It's about connecting, sharing your thoughts clearly, asking questions, and most importantly, listening without judgment are powerful ways to keep her engaged. When men fail to communicate effectively, it can make her feel isolated, ignored, or even anxious about the relationship. The key lesson here is simple. Strong communication builds trust, intimacy, and attraction. It doesn't mean rehearsing perfect lines or avoiding disagreements. It means being present, attentive, and honest, even when it's uncomfortable. When a man invests in genuine communication, women feel seen, respected, and emotionally connected. That connection is magnetic. Poor communication may seem minor at first, but it shapes how she experiences the relationship every single day. Take the time to listen, respond thoughtfully, and express your feelings clearly. Doing so transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful connection, and it strengthens the bond in ways that charm or gestures alone never could. Negativity, lack of ambition, over-attaching too soon, ignoring emotional needs, and poor communication. These 5 turnoffs might seem small, but they silently shape her attraction and the way she feels around you. The difference between a connection that grows and one that fades often comes down to awareness and action. When you recognize these patterns and adjust how you show up, you become someone magnetic, confident, and emotionally present. Keep learning, stay aware, and apply these lessons in real life. Like, comment, and subscribe for more contents like this. Stay tuned, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.